as I'm sure everyone of you and most of the country now knows, that the Supreme Court made its decision on the marriage case which was before it. So I read the case this morning. I read the decision and I read the dissents. I've had some conversations with some of the other bishops about this matter. We realize this is a very significant day in the history of our country, to decide what marriage is, contrary to many thousands of years of human tradition with regard to the traditional understanding of what constitutes marriage. For us in the church, this has always an issue about what constitutes marriage. Before anything else, it was a decision or a case that was before the court having to do with the uniqueness of marriage as an institution in human society for the bearing and raising of children in a stable family environment. And on the part of the court to expand that decision to include same-sex unions, the church sees as really a redefinition of marriage, in a way that really radically sort of reorients the way the society now, in a certain way, has to deal with, on the legal level anyway, the whole issue of family and all the legal sort of ramifications that come from that. From a certain perspective, the Church, the Catholic Church, will continue to teach what we teach about marriage, and try to do everything we can to support family life and moms and dads who are trying to raise their children in a world that is changing very rapidly. We will continue to run our institutions in a way that reflects that. Our teaching institutions, our charitable institutions. It's too early to tell how this decision will affect the whole issue of religious liberty. That is to say, to what extent will the government try to limit the Church's ability to exercise in the public forum our charitable and public presence. We'll have to deal with that as it unfolds. This has never been an issue in the Church's mind about people, or against any group of people, or about the issue of equality, really. It's really been about what uniqueness should be recognized in the institution of marriage. And so for us today was a serious setback in terms of the legal structure of the country. Church goes on. We continue to do what we do, and as an institution, the Church has seen many things over 2,000 years, and will no doubt see many more. But that's kind of where we are. I'm certainly open to questions. It made me kind of sad that we have reached a point where our governmental agencies and institutions think they have the authority to redefine what is inscribed in the way creation is, male and female, He made them. And to me, it was kind of sad because it also is a statement about where we are in Western culture. This is by no means an issue that dominates the third world, so to speak. It is a Western culture issue, and at least a Western industrialized culture issue. And I think that the courts have kind of read the tea leaves, so to speak, of where the culture is, indicates that we have come quite a long, we have moved quite a long distance in just the last 15 to 20 years in terms of just the understanding of marriage and family. We must love one another first. I mean, so it's not a judgment about homosexuality or homosexual persons, but that we have discussions about, is marriage something unique that needs to be kind of safeguarded in its identity as the basic stable unit of society. That families will probably talk about, in addition to kind of how it affects the people that they know. I don't think families will say, well, the Church needs to change her teaching. The Church's teaching is based on what Jesus taught, and we aren't free to change that. I mean, we don't have that kind of power. The Church doesn't have the power to change the teaching of Scripture, and that's just that. So we are its servants. We are not its manipulators. And I think that's a tough stand in the modern world to take. It really is. But it is what it is, and I'm not going to whine about it.